The last thing I said, last video, last game, was that the ball is rolling. The ball is rolling! I didn't realize that meant the Sceptres were the pins! Toronto loses 4-3 at the hands of the Montreal Victoire. This game was everything wrong with this team packed up in a neat little box. First period, honestly, pretty back and forth, pretty even, pretty okay balance between both teams. What's the problem? Toronto can't hit the net. They had 3 shots in the first period. 3. Again, relatively even pressure-wise. Possession-wise, I might even say Toronto had a bit of an edge. 3 shots! And one went in by the grace of God. They shook a magic 8-ball, and it said, luck is on your side. Maggie Connors, 10.5 minutes in, throws the puck out from the corner. It hits off Abstreiter's blocker and bounces into the back of the net. I don't even think it counted as a shot. But they don't ask how, they ask how many. Of course. 1-0 Toronto, 10 minutes in. Great! 16.5 in. Flanagan takes a tripping penalty. Nothing comes of it. 19:40 in. Downey Landry takes a tripping penalty. But what's this fun thing? Take out your bingo card, please, okay? Do you have one in front of you? Do we have Toronto Sceptres bingo for everything we can guess that's going to happen in the game? Did you guess they would go 0% on their power play again? For the zillionth time? Yeah! They got their power play. They did nothing with it. Nothing at all. And I have ragged on Troy Ryan on this topic so much, and he bloody deserves it, because there is something I noticed and pointed out earlier in the season, one of the early, first 5 games probably, where I said, hey, that's kind of funny. Toronto's power play unit, their first power play unit, is just their second line. Straight up, at the time, it was Comfort, Turnbull, Zanin, which is still a great line, and I'm still mad they broke that up in favor of putting Watts in for Zanin. I don't get why they did it. Comfort, Turnbull, Zanin works so bloody well, and he keeps moving it. But anyway, I thought that was kind of quirky. I thought that was happenstance. It was coincidental. He thought, I like how that line looks. Let's just make that the power play unit. Sure, it turns out he just doesn't make power play lines. Toronto's first and second power play, this game, was just line 1, line 2. It was a power play in the bare minimum, textbook sense of you have an additional player. That's it. That is everything. Try literally anything. Your power play is the second worst in the league. It's operating at, 9.3%? 8.3%? Something like that? It's awful! 4 goals on 43 attempts? That's awful! That's laughable! That's a joke! Assemble 4 forwards and 1 D. Try that first. What, you like the combo of having the players you know together go together? Okay, Turnbull, Comfort, Zanin, Watts, put, Fast at the point. Second unit, Maltais, Spooner, Dalton, Connors. Harmon at the point. Boom. Give it a shot? They got nothing done there. But 4 minutes into the second, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful play. Comfort keeps it in possession, gets it over the blue line into Montreal's zone. Watts picks up the puck, skates it in, drops it back for Turnbull, and on Turnbull's bobblehead night, blows one by Abstreiter. Glorious bloody goal. Amazing. Incredible. That's our captain. Beautiful stuff. Toronto's up 2-0. Maybe we can keep adding on to it. The ball is rolling. Things are going our way. We had, at that point, 5-6 shots? And 2 of them are in? Fantastic! This is what we've been needing. The bounces are going our way. We're getting the puck luck. The close calls are going in our favor for things like offside or icing. We're getting the chances. But of course, now we have a 2-0 lead. So the obvious strategy from this point forward is to turtle, right? It's to step back, play a more defensive game, just try to keep the puck out of your zone, out of your net. You've got no one to worry about. What? Who's going to get by Poulin? Stacy? Rock? Former Sceptre Skamura? Former Sceptre Willoughby? Oh, it is going to be all... Oh. Gotcha. Right. Never saw that coming. Like, the only time you should be turtling is if you're going to put Teenage Mutant Ninja in front of it. Why? 8 minutes in, Nicole Gosling rips a shot from the point. Traffic in front. Poulin gets the tip. Gets by Kirk. 2-1. Okay. What if 3.5 minutes after Poulin scores, you take out your bingo card and you check off Emma Mulday teaches stupid bloody penalty like either her or Fast do every single game. By the way, another note on Troy Ryan's special teams, his penalty kill lines are also just the lines. Some good movement, cycling by the Victoire, gets the defense in a bit of a tizzy, gets Kirk all over the place out of position. Kirk makes one save, but slides a bit too far over. Rebound is there for the taking. Skamura bats it in. 2-2. And what's the problem with turtling when you had an advantage? Is that it's really hard to start pouring the gas back on. Third period rolls around. Youngblom scores the most BS goal I have ever seen. The goal was called no goal on the ice for goaltender interference. But of course they review this. Because they review every goal in the league. It's not a bad policy to have. And they talked to Montreal's coach, and she said, hey, what the hell? So they give it a look. They're looking at it for a while. Looking at it for a really long time. They must be really seeing something we didn't see because it was waved off in the moment. And it turns out that it was actually a Toronto player that fell on top of Kirk, not a Montreal player. So, because it's friendly fire, we have a good goal. We have a good goal. Now, what they failed to also justify on this review, the officiating staff, is that, well, yes, the Toronto player fell into Kirk because she was tripped and subsequently pushed by the Montreal player. What do you think is going to happen? Oh, because the blue jersey fell into the blue jersey, it doesn't count as interference. Doesn't matter how she got there in the first place. Doesn't matter what position she was in to wind up at that result. So I have the best idea. We are going to take any Montreal player from the bench, okay? We're going to put them in one of those cartoon circus cannons, okay? And we're going to launch them straight into Sandra Abstrider and have them both be sent into the stratosphere. And then we'll score on the empty net. And that will be okay. Because it was two jerseys of the same color crashing into each other. Right? Is that how the rule works? Is that what I'm understanding? Because that seems to be the precedent that's been set. 3-2 Montreal. 19 minutes in. There's barely over a minute remaining. Toronto yanked Kirk. 6-on-5. Fast throws the puck out front. Gets tipped in on the backhand by Comfer, who's waiting at the top of the crease. And we've tied it up. We've tied up the game 3-3. And Montreal really made a push in that last minute. Those last 60 seconds was all Montreal. They got a few shots off. They make it to the overtime. They have their chances. Montreal has their chances. Nothing really goes. So we get to the shootout. I love Kirk. Kirk's in for the third game in 5 days. She's never been a star in the shootout to begin with. And she lets in 4 of 6. And Toronto can only get by 3 through Abstrader. And that's the game. And Toronto blows another lead. The vibes are so high. They're doing so good. They win 2 games in a row coming back from the Olympics. Hurrah, hurrah. They get a goal at the beginning that's a bit fluky, but you're getting those bounces, you're getting that luck. You're on the board. It's bobblehead night for your captain. The fans are feeling it. This is your first home game after the break in like a month and a half. You know, everyone's thrilled to see you guys again. And you can't hang on to a lead? Like, why is it that the Sceptres get 1 goal scored against them and every single player on the roster looks like they just got told their parents are getting divorced? And like they're doing it completely shifts. It's night and day. Suddenly they're disjointed and they're sloppy and they're slow. No one can receive a pass, no one can give a pass. People are leaving drop passes to nobody. You're passing it to the wrong team. Your shot can't hit the net. You can't keep possession in the O-zone. From 1 goal against, you still have the lead. Oh, the team's tired. You know, we're coming back. It's been off for so long, and now all of a sudden we're playing so many games back to back. And the team that went to the Olympics, they just blame the Olympics. It might help your team not be tired is if there wasn't a player on your roster that you constantly had at 0 minutes. Claire DeGeorge played 0 minutes and 0 seconds tonight. She did not set foot on the ice. Reminder to everyone, Emma Gentry isn't in the lineup right now. So the Sceptres signed Lauren Messier to a standard player agreement, who jumped over to George. I don't know if DeGeorge has like a 13th forward role, if she's some kind of specialist I don't know about. Is her specialist keeping the bench warm? Play your players! They had 5 forwards above 19 minutes tonight. 5! And you can't let DeGeorge take a couple shifts? Give her 3-4 shifts? Put on her penalty kill, put on your power play, make her some kind of specialist. Give her, anything! You know what the lowest ice time in Montreal was? 5:26. It was Skylar Irving. You have 5 forwards? I.e., your first 2 full lines? Which is also your first power play and second power play line? And your first and second penalty kill line? And you can't give her a bit of time? If you hate this player, which you seem to, then scratch her! Put Condis in! Or literally anybody else! Sign Baskin again for all I care. Trade her! Do anything! Be competent! Make decisions! You're just gonna roll 4 lines, including on your special teams, and wonder why it's not working? It's such a joke. It's they're getting the opportunities, they're getting their chances, and they're throwing it all out of the window. All out of the window. With the 2 regulation wins on the West Coast, they officially put themselves back into the playoff race. And yes, they got a pity point tonight, so technically they're in a playoff spot, with 2 more games played than literally every other team at minimum. They had an opportunity here to get another 3 points, to solidify their position a bit more. They can't hold a lead. They blow them all the time. And it's not even a mystery as to why. They had so much opportunity. They had the chances. They're getting the bounces. They're getting the luck. They're getting the calls. They face one bout of adversity and the whole thing's shot. Like, why does it feel like if they can't get a shutout, then they're hanging on by the skin of their teeth? That's all for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you want more. Out the window. How many chances can this team get? And how many are they going to blow?